Hello and welcome. This guide is brought to you by the team at Pro Tax Accountant, and today we're going to tackle a bill that I know is a source of stress for so many, the council tax. We're going to go through it step by step and uncover every single saving you might be entitled to as a pensioner.
So let me ask you a quick question. Is your council tax bill a cause for concern? For millions of pensioners on a fixed income, it absolutely is. But here's the thing, it really doesn't have to be. There is so much support out there that people just don't know about, and today we are going to fix that.
All right, so here's our plan. First, we'll break down what your bill actually means. Then, we'll dive into some quick wins that can cut your costs right away. We'll also cover the really important disability reduction scheme, and then the big one, council tax reduction. Finally, we'll look at some common mistakes to avoid and tell you where you can get some expert help. So, first things first, what exactly is council tax? Well, in simple terms, it's a tax on your home that pays for all those local services we rely on. Bin collections, libraries, road repairs. Every single household gets one bill, and you've got the right to pay it off in either 10 or 12 monthly chunks.
Okay, now for the part you've been waiting for. Let's talk about how to turn this knowledge into actual savings in your pocket. We'll start with the quick wins. These are the easy ones, the low-hanging fruit that you'd be surprised so many people completely miss out on.
Let's kick things off with a big one, a 25% discount. If you are the only adult living in your property, you are entitled to this. It really is that simple. So think about someone like Wendy, a widow living on her own. If her full bill was, say, £1,200 a year, this discount would knock £300 right off, bringing it down to just $900. That's a huge difference. And here's a quick pro tip for you. A lot of councils will, by default, ask for the money over 10 months. But did you know you have the right to ask them to spread it over 12? It won't change the total amount you pay, but it lowers those monthly payments, which can make a real difference when you're budgeting. A quick phone call is usually all it takes. But what if I told you the savings could be even bigger? We're talking up to a 50% discount. This can happen if nobody living in the home is technically counted for council tax. It sounds a bit strange, I know, but some people are basically invisible when the council does its maths.
So, who are these invisible people? Well, the list includes people with a severe mental impairment, like Alzheimer's, full-time students, and also some live-in carers. So for instance, if you have a couple where one person has Alzheimer's and their partner is their carer, it's possible for both of them to be disregarded, triggering that massive 50% discount. It's so important to check if this applies to you.
Okay, next up, let's focus on a really crucial bit of support called the disability reduction scheme. Now, this one has nothing to do with your income. It's all about making sure you're not paying extra tax for space you absolutely need because of a disability. So here's how it works. If your home has been adapted for a disabled resident, maybe you've had to add an extra bathroom, or you need a certain room for therapy, or just essential space to use a wheelchair indoors, you can get your council tax band dropped. So a Band C property would be billed as if it were a cheaper Band B property. It's a fair system that accounts for those necessary changes to your home. Those discounts we've just talked about, they're fantastic. But believe it or not, the biggest savings are still to come. So please, stay with me on this next part, because what we're about to cover could potentially wipe out your entire bill. We're talking about council tax reduction. Council tax reduction, or CTR as it's known, is a benefit designed specifically to help people on low incomes. Now, here's the really important part for you to know. There's a national scheme just for pensioners in England, and it's generally way more generous and protective than the local schemes that working-age people have to deal with. Now, usually, whether you can get it depends on your income and savings. The standard rule is pretty strict. If you have over £16,000 in savings, you probably won't qualify. But, and this is a really big but, there's a game-changing exception to that rule that can change everything. So, what is this big secret? What's the one thing that could unlock a potential £0 council tax bill, even if you do have a bit of money saved up? The answer, in just 2 words, is pension credit. This is the absolute gateway to getting the most significant help available. That's right, 100%. If you get the guarantee part of pension credit, you automatically qualify for the maximum council tax reduction. For most people, that means 100% reduction. Your bill becomes 0. It is, without a doubt, the single most important benefit for any pensioner to check if they're eligible for. Now, there is one small thing to be aware of. If another adult who isn't your partner lives with you, say a grown-up son or daughter, they're known as a non-dependent. In that case, a small, fixed amount might be taken off your reduction because the council assumes they chip in for bills. As you can see here, the amount depends on their income.
Okay, we've talked about a lot of amazing support, but it's no good if you fall at the final hurdle, right? So let's make sure that doesn't happen by looking at some of the most common mistakes people make when they apply. Getting this right is absolutely key. Here are the top 5 pitfalls. Number 1, and it's the most important, not applying for pension credit first. 2, forgetting to tell the council about changes, like if someone moves in. 3, simply not claiming that 25% single-person discount. 4, overlooking the disabled band reduction. And finally, number 5, just wrongly assuming that because you have some savings, you can't get any help at all. And if you're still not convinced about that first point, just listen to this. Government figures show that over 850,000 pensioner households are missing out on pension credit they are entitled to. That is a staggering number of people missing out on the key to unlocking a potential 100% council tax cut. Phew, okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We know the savings and we know the mistakes to avoid. So now, let's just pull it all together and give you a clear summary of what to do next. Here are the 4 things I really want you to take away from this. First, always check if you can get pension credit. It is the golden key. Second, claim all the simple discounts first, like that 25% off for living alone. Third, apply for council tax reduction directly with your local council. And fourth, always let them know right away if your situation changes. Following these steps could genuinely save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of pounds a year. But of course, everyone's situation is different. For advice that's tailored specifically to you, whether it's on council tax or any other money matter, the experts at ProTax Accountant are ready to help. You can reach them on WhatsApp or by phone at 07985 689 912, or just drop them an email at info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. I really hope this has armed you with some valuable information. For more clear, straightforward guides just like this one, make sure you subscribe to the Pro Tax Accountant YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching.